Hi, my name is Jeff Sturgis, and I really wanted to go through what I like to wear when I'm out hunting. And I have a real minimalist approach. And even when I'm out on public land, I still have that minimalist approach because I don't want to carry a lot back in with me. I might go hour and a half back in. Last year in Pennsylvania, we were about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half off the road. We brought frame packs back, had a knife, cleaning bags, gutting bags, a couple sandwiches, but really not a lot of gear to come in and go back out with, just because I don't like carrying a whole bunch with me. I don't like setting it down. I don't like having a tree with me or on the ground next to me. So bottom line, when I'm looking at what am I going to wear, even starting on opening day and early in the season, it's really about those layers and how I can be comfortable with a base set of clothes that allows me to mix and match and keep adding. And first of all, when I hunt, a lot of times I hunt by cold front. I help develop HuntCast, and I really developed that, and I really had a passion for hunting the weather because I love hunting cold front. So that means if opening day, whether it's October 1st in Michigan or it's September 14th this year out here in Minnesota, Wisconsin, where I hunt, then I'm not hunting when it's 80 degrees or 75. I'm waiting for that first cold front snap, which might mean that it's a high of 52. But a high of 52 still gets me into a little bit cooler clothes, warm clothes, to the point where I still have that base. And First Light, I use First Light gear. They have a new system. This is the Phase, but it's fleece and it's wind stopper. Just single layer, no insulation. So I'll wear bibs like this because bibs allow me to really be flexible with what I wear. So if I wear this and it's early season, let's say it was going to be a high 58 that day. Well, underneath I might just have my shorts on, some lightweight socks, my uninsulated rubber boots, and then on top of that I might have a good moisture wicking t-shirt. I wear a lot of various layers of merino wool, t-shirt wool, really lightweight. This is actually merino wool. It's a hoodie, it's more midweight, but I like to wear these layers underneath. So I could wear a lightweight merino wool t-shirt and I'll wear a heavier weight quarter zip like this. Tuck this into my bibs, wear a hat, good to go. So that's that. More about as I don't like hunting real hot weather because I miss opportunity there. I'd rather wait for a cold front that's just around the corner. And so this is about as cool as I get as far as wearing clothing. And sometimes I'll wear something thinner. We have some thin, lighter weight pants over here. But really that's more for turkey season. I wear a lot of my lightweight stuff for turkey. As you run and gun, crawling around, warmer temperatures, a little bit different than deer hunting. When I'm up in a tree stand, it's a little bit different. So a lot of times I'll start. I have this base right here, this fleece bib, wind stopper, no insulation. I might pair it with this. And what's really cool with this is I can actually move over towards, so I'll move over to a vest, and the vest gives me a lot of versatility. So I'll use this. This is a Whitetail vest, really warm. And what's interesting about this is it feels like if I wear my bibs and then wear a heavyweight quarter zip, I have that moisture wicking t-shirt, and then I add this vest to it, boy, I'm good down to, let's say it was a high 57, it might be getting down into 45 by dark, and I'm really warm. You know, I have that vest. I might have it open for half the sit, and then I'm really bringing that down. So this vest adds a lot to me, especially in that early to mid-season for that layering effect. And then after I have these bibs, I then get to this nice jacket. This is the same jacket, or the same as the bibs. It's that fleece wind stopper. And it makes it real versatile because if I want to wear this and I want to wear this quarter zip, I can actually get away with a lightweight outfit like this, getting down to where it's a high of 47. It's going to be low 40s by the time I get out. And if I want to add that vest underneath as a layer, then I'm really maintaining my warmth. I have it all zipped open on the way out to the stand. Again, I'm not carrying a big backpack with me. And really, I'll go through that. I have my binoculars on me all the time. When I'm bow hunting, I'm using an 8-power binocular like this. When I'm gun hunting, if I'm in a blind, then I might use my 12 powers. I can see a little bit further. but really bow hunting, I love my 8x42s, high quality. I always have my rangefinder with me. It doesn't matter if I'm muzzleloader hunting, gun hunting, or bow hunting. That's always with me. And then I always have a grunt tube. Now sometimes I'll bring a doe bleat. I have a doe bleat up here in my packs, but I really like these True Talker grunt tubes. It's my favorite. I've been using them for decades, it seems like. So between these three things, that's what I carry with me a lot of times in the stand. I don't even bring a knife. Part of that is when I'm hunting close to home, I'm on private land, it's almost like it's bad luck to me to assume I'm going to shoot something and bring a knife. I can always go back home. We're always getting friends. We're always getting the side-by-side machine trucks to get the deer out. So that's a walk back anyways. So right there, I'm leaving my knife. Now, of course, when I'm out on public land and I'm an hour and a half from the truck, I'm bringing my knife with me. That's just part of it. Drag rope sometimes. So I do add a little bit more when I'm out there on those public land hunts, but it doesn't matter if it's an all-day sit around here. I might add a meal bar. I might add a sandwich, but really I don't have much with me. And of course I have my safety harness. A lot of our stands have lifelines, almost all of them. And so I'm using that. And really other than that, that's all the gear I have, non-clothing, non-hunting essentials. I do carry a bleat can sometimes. Pretty simple. That's sometimes, but I don't have this with me all the time. Grunt tube all the time. I get into my headgear, and when you get into early season, I'm still wearing a lightweight face mask. And what's nice about that, I'll wear a hat, brimmed hat, and I can put this over the hat. The brim will come right through here, so that face mask will sit right here, come down, and it really keeps you warm. If it's a little bit colder, I'll put this beanie on over my hat, over the face mask. So this just sits right up here, because you always want to have a brim. That's really important to me. The brim, I had someone the other day on social media say, oh, I don't like the brim because it seems like when you move it, the deer pick that out, that brim. I don't know if you've hunted a lot or enough to do this, but when it gets morning, especially, and you're looking into the sun towards the east, and that sun is coming up, if you don't have a brim and you have a shot out in front of you, it might be almost impossible to take that shot unless you have a brim. That sun is right in your face. So really critical to have that brim. That's why I always have a brim. And a lot of times it might just be a mesh brim like this. I just want this. And a lot of times keeping the snow off my face, I'll put this heavy one on, this lightweight. And then when it gets into colder temperatures, I'll wear a heavyweight face mask. This has fleece on the inside. I wear it the same, so my brim comes out right here, and I can still put a stocking cap, even a heavier one, over that. So that always keeps my head really, really warm. Now when it gets into my hands, I have to have my hand warmer tube. And I've been using this since I was a teenager for 30 years. And that hand warmer tube is really critical because I'll put a couple big heat packs in here. The heat factory ones last a long time. Till the next morning. And so I have those in there. I have lightweight gloves, and that's what I hunt with. And I will mention, I do always have a flashlight with me. Now that I can feel the flashlight in here, in the zippered pocket, I always have a flashlight on me too. I should have mentioned that. That's part of my gear, whether I'm on public or private land. I don't use a flashlight very often on the way in or out of stands. I'll keep it on low moonbeam light. It's only like 5 lumens. And I can at least see where I'm going, because when you get out in these fields around here and open hardwoods and those deer see that light dancing around, they don't like it. And if you think you can hide it with green or red lens, I encourage you to look and see what happens with a trail camera with infrared bulbs when they turn red, and watch a buck's neck snap and look towards those red bulbs. Doesn't matter if they're red or green. I don't know if it's the light they still see. Maybe they don't see the color, they just see it as light, but bottom line, it does spook them. So be very wary when you're going in and out with your flashlight. But this keeps my hands toasty warm, and really critical to me in using that, and having these thin gloves. Then it gets into the heavier weight. And what I like about First Light, this is our core. And so the core bibs, it's a step up from the phase, really good insulation. And what they've done now, and I'll show you the jacket here in a second, but you see this pocket right here, and I can actually they have openings in the side of their jackets that go right into these inside pockets. The openings in the jackets actually have magnets. Doesn't matter if it's the phase, the core, or their heavyweight thermic that's right over here. You can put your hands in and keep them warm on this inside. So I've actually, for the first time ever, considered not bringing my hand warmer out with me because it keeps so warm in here with your hands against your chest. And if you notice, this insulation for this outer layer right here is the same insulation on their main layer. So you basically, on your chest area, get 2 layers of insulation. That keeps everything right on the side. Now, sometimes I'll put my phone on this pocket coming in, or I'll put my phone in on the hand warmer tube. It's a given your phone's with you at all times. I use that for pictures and everything else. I like to take a lot of video. But these bibs are really critical for me because I don't want that open air. It doesn't matter if it's when it's 55 degrees or it's 15 degrees, -5. I don't want to have that open air around my waist. And this is that mid-weight layer. I find that I wear this mid-weight layer a lot because I can mix and match up top with heavier jackets, lighter jackets, quarter zips, the t-shirts, vest. And then I have the heavier weight. This is the core jacket. And these core jackets, what I really like, they made the collars shorter. I hate tall collars. I don't have a foot-long neck. So when you have the shorter collar, I can zip it up, stay warm. And then the hoods. I've never used the hoods before, but I'm finding with the new First Light stuff, they're cut out on the sides. So they're not coming in and giving you tunnel vision. You can actually see out the sides on either side. And so I found that I kept my hoods on last year for the first time ever. Used them probably more last year during the season than I did all the other years combined at any time in my life. I never liked the hoods, but when it's super cold and you're up in a tree stand, these hoods are great because if you don't want to use them, you put them down. If you want to use them, they're right there. And then, boy, by the time you use a face mask, you have your brim, even your stocking cap, you put this over, you are toasty warm even in the coldest of conditions. It's pretty awesome. Something they did this year that I mentioned, pretty cool, because this is that magnetic pocket that closes and you can put your hands right through to that inside, keep them really warm around your chest. It's magnetic, so it tends to hug around your wrist right here. And this is their midweight. Their midweight, this jacket right here, and their heavyweight, very easy to bow hunt with, even though they're super warm. It's just when you move up to the heavyweight, the thermic, they're heavy. They're real heavy. So if you have a long ways to hike in, I actually wear my jackets a lot because this is all moisture wicking material with the merino wool. I wear merino wool socks, moisture wicking socks, long johns if needed in the colder temperatures. And it's all moisture wicking. So when I get to my stand, I might be a little chilly for the first 45 minutes. But within 45 minutes, your inner layers are dry. It's going to your outer layers, and that works really well. At very worst, when it's really cold and I'm going in for a long ways and I'm wearing a frame pack, I'll put my jacket in the frame pack, maybe 1 quarter zip, heavy quarter zip in there too. Sometimes my outer layer of socks that I'll put in that frame pack, and then you can put it on when you get in there. But really, when I'm tree stand hunting and I'm bow hunting and it's close quarters, I want to get to my stand, get up, and not spook any deer. I can't stand getting dressed at the base of the tree. I leave a big giant scent pad down there of all my sweat and anything I touch, my clothing touching the ground. So when a big old buck comes by 3 hours later after I'm done hunting and I'm not even there, he smells that, he's never coming back again. So a lot of times I'll mix and match. I'll wear my thermic, which is the heavyweight bibs, and I wore this midweight jacket. Can keep really, really warm. Of course, if you add a vest, even better. These are all nice too. All the good clothing out there has a way for your safety line harness loop to come right through the back of the clothing. That's really a huge advantage. And really, when it comes down to rubber boots, I wear lacrosse boots. They have the 1600 gram burley, the insulated, heavily insulated. I'll wear those once the temperatures get below freezing. And if worse comes to worse, I wear thermic heater booties. I put those over the boots. And sometimes I'll even put a heat pack on top of each toe of the boot and zip those right up over the Arctic shields, I think they call them, over the top of the boot, zip it in, and I can stay warm. I'm diabetic, so I have a hard time. I went through a period where I didn't take care of my diabetes as much as I should. I have a little neuropathy in my feet that gets my feet very cold. And so I need that extra layer of insulation, and that's how I can even keep warm out in the tree stand, where in the beginning of the season I'm wearing uninsulated rubber boots, and those rubber boots are always with me. So Mixing and matching layers, finding quality clothing company. A lot of people say that, this gear is too expensive, or whatever company's gear is too expensive. When you buy good hunting clothing, it lasts for decades. So it's crazy how you'll spend money, you're worrying about spending an extra $100 that's going to be stretched out over 20 years or 15 years, whatever you want it for. But it's going to fit well, it's going to layer nice, because the better companies are made so that the outer layer of good clothes is larger than the mid layer, than the next to skin layer. Everything's made to be able to fit over the top of each other and actually layer and mix and match, and that's what it's all about. And that's how I want to keep warm from basically head to toe, be very comfortable. Again, I'm a minimalist. I don't carry much out in the woods. I have a flashlight that's not pictured here, my cell phone, heat packs that I want to have. We usually buy them by the case. We go through a lot throughout the year. And then, of course, on your head, your feet, keeping everything warm. If it's going to be a long day, I might bring a sandwich in. I don't want to eat a lot, because what goes in must come out. And so I really want to be able to hunt all day, not worry about anything else, be comfortable in the stand. Sometimes I'll take a big chug of water before I go out. I might carry a small water bottle out there and just kind of use it as needed throughout the day. And that's how I stay warm, dry, comfortable, and make sure I have the gear that I need and the tools to help me have a great hunt.